ता सहित आपण देखंतु सरकार जितेबाला भित्तिभूमि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर उपर फोकस कर व्यवराध होती मिशन शक्ति सरकार सबू आम बजेट में देखू कि मिशन शक्ति उपर फोकस रहे एथर मिशन शक्ति स्कूटर योजना 529 कोटी व्यवराध होती सामाजिक सुरक्षा जो कथा अर्थमंत्री कहते आमर फोकस सामाजिक सुरक्षा सोशल सेक्टर उपर फोकस कर सामाजिक सुरक्षा व्यवराध होती सामाजिक सुरक्षा जितेबाला 53 लाख सामाजिक सुरक्षा हिताधिकारी भत्ता 3980 कोटी व्यवराध होती नुआ ओ कार्यक्रम 3 वर्ष में व्यय हेब 385 कोटी सड़क सेतु एयरपोर्ट रेलवे विकास 21,000 कोटी व्यवराध होती तो कौ विभाग केते व्यवराध होती सामने रखिलु जिते गृह विभाग 8,641 कोटी ग्राम्य उन्नयन विभाग 9,330 कोटी योजना और संयोजना 12,043 कोटी व्यवराध होती सरकार जमी आम किसम पूर्व आलोचना कलु पूरा बजेट को देखा सरकार फोकस रे रही कृषि एवं कृषक मान उन्नति एथर देखा कि बजेट में बेस गुरुत्व दि जाएगी कृषि 28,000 कोटी अधिक व्यवराध होती एथर बजेट रे पूरा बजेट देखा 28,944 कोटी व्यवराध कर अर्थमंत्री जहाँकि पूर्व वर्षर जो व्यवराध थिला ता तुलन में 16.6% अधिक बोली अर्थमंत्री कहते केवल सेतिकी नुहे वर्तमान सुधा देखिबा कि जो कालिया योजना चाषी उन्नति सरकार कालिया योजना करिसेंती वर्तमान सुधा राज्यर 43,88,000 क्षुद्र एवं नाममात्र चाषी 18,93,000 भूमिहीन चाषी परिवार को कालिया योजना रे सहायता जोगाई दिया जाइछि बोली अर्थमंत्री मध्य कहछंती सेहिपरि ओडिशा वर्तमान 100 बिलियन डॉलर अधिक अर्थनीति रे परिणत होइछि 2015-16 वर्ष ठारू राज्यर हाराहारी अभिवृद्धि हार 7.25% रही जहाँकि जातीय अर्थनीतिर हाराहारी अभिवृद्धि ठारू 1% अधिक बोली अर्थमंत्री बजेट आगत बेले सूचना दैछंती।
बिल्कुल एवं अर्थनीति विशारद समीक्षक जे माने अछंते सेमानंको एई तथ्य बा परिसंख्यान निश्चय खुशी दउथिबो कारण जातीय हार ठारू राज्यर अभिवृद्धि हार अधिक रही एवं आमे जो लक्ष्य रखीचे 2036 बा 2047 सुधा एक विकसित ओडिशा गठन करबा से दिगरे एई अभिवृद्धि एक माइलस्टोन हेबो निश्चय आशा करा जाई पारे एवं दर्शक बंधु आपण देखुचंती राज्य सरकार केमिति केउ दिगरे टंका खर्च करिवे एवं केउ विभाग प्रति केते अनुदान दिया जाइछि तारो एक चित्र आमे आपनकु टीवी स्क्रीन रे देखौछु स्वाभाविक भाबरे आपनक मनरे प्रश्न आसुथिबो कि राज्य सरकार जदि एते टंका खर्च करिवे ताहेले ए टंका आसीबो केउठु एवं खर्च अर्थात आय एवं व्यय भितरे जो पार्थक्य रहिबो बा जो वित्तीय नियंत्रण रहिबो ताकू सरकार केमिति परिचालना करिवे ताहा ही होची सबुठु बड़ कथा एवं वित्तीय नियंत्रण परिचालना सरकारक पई निश्चय चैलेंज रहिबो एवं से दिगरे मध्य सरकारक विभिन्न रोड मैप निश्चय रहिथिबो एवं अन्यपटे आमे जदि देखिबा ताहेले सरकार जो भली भाबरे व्यवराध करिसंती एवं आगामी भविष्यत रे मध्य व्यवराध बढ़िबो एथरे कोनोसी प्रकार संदेह नाही एवं एक विकसित ओडिशा गठन करबा पई जो सब उपादान दरकार बा जहाँ सब आवश्यकता रही से सब आवश्यकता को जदि आमे पूरण करबा ताहेले निश्चय आहुरी व्यवराध अधिक बढ़ाइबा पई पड़िबो तबे आमे जानिबा किभली भाबरे राज्य सरकार टंका आय करिवे एवं एमिति खर्च करिवे साधारणतः आमे देखे पेट्रोल डीजेल हो बा जीएसटी बा ए सबरु सरकार गोटे बड़ अंश पाई थांती एवं ता राजकोष को गोटे प्रकार परिपूर्ण करि थाए सही भली से डायरेक्ट टैक्स हो इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स हो जहाँ सीधा सड़क केंद्र सरकार को पैठ करा जाए तार मध्य किछि अंश पाई थांती राज्य सरकार एवं ता मध्य राजकोष को भर्ती करि थाए सही भली आमे देखुचे कोयला रॉयल्टी हो बा अन्य खनिज पदार्थर रॉयल्टी हो ए सब मध्य राज्यर संपत्ति को बा राज्यर राजस्व को वृद्धि करि थाए तेणु ए सब होची राज्य सरकार पई एक प्रमुख माध्यम बा प्रमुख सूत्र जो सब जगारु राज्य सरकार अर्थ रोजगार करती एवं आमे विशेषज्ञों प्रतिक्रिया शुणुथिले कारण कोयला रॉयल्टी हो बा खनिज रॉयल्टी हो ये चिरदिन नुहे कारण दिने ना दिने यार शेष हेबो तेणु ए सब जगारु जो अर्थ वर्तमान सरकार उपार्जन करुचंती से अर्थ केउ दिगरु वर्तमान आसी पारिबो तार विकल्प खोजिबार आवश्यकता रही जदि भविष्य में आम बजेट्र रूपरेख को आहरी बढ़ाइबा पई चाहूचे
निश्चित भाव में जितेबाला सरकार जो फोकस रही है पूरा जदि बजेट को एनालिसिस करवा सरकार देखा कि कृषि क्षेत्र पर एथर फोकस कर सामाजिक सुरक्षा पर फोकस कर सरकार फोकस रही स्वास्थ्य विभाग उपर एवं महिला सशक्तिकरण जितेबाला मिशन शक्ति स्कूटर योजना व्यवराध कर पूरा चित्र आपण सामने टीवी स्क्रीन रखुचु जितेबाला चाषी फोकस कर कृषि क्षेत्र उपर कालिया योजना किभली भाव में कृषक मान वरदान होती अर्थमंत्री गृह में बजेट आगत बेले सहित मिलेट मिशन को जितेबाला सारा विश्व में देखु प्रशंसा जहाद्वारा 5 लाख रु अधिक चाषी से लाइफ स्टाइल से जीवन में एक बड़ धरन उन्नति आसी अधिक रु अधिक से प्रोत्साहित होती सरकार एथर फोकस रही कृषि और कृषक मान सशक्त करने दिगरे अधिक व्यवहार सहित आप देखु सामाजिक सुरक्षा सरकार जितेबाला सरकार ए सोशल सेक्टर उपर फोकस कर व्यवहार कर महिला मानक आम प्रति बजेट देखू महिला मानक जमी सरकार मिशन शक्ति कथा कहतु आत्मनिर्भरशील करने क्षेत्र में फोकस रही एथर बजेट देखा मिली इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर लगातार भाव में किसी बजेट आम देखी आसुचु सरकार जमी फोकस रही भित्तिभूमि जमी आप देखो भित्तिभूमि एथर देखा मिली जो कथा आम आलोचना करूँ कि स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्र में एथर सरकार फोकस करपारती जहाँ को लेकिन एक्सपर्ट मैंने से आशा करुले एथर स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्र में सरकार देखा कि पूरापूरी फोकस रही शिक्षा उच्च शिक्षा कथा कहतु कि गणशिक्षा और से क्षेत्र में सरकार फोकस रही बजेट में व्यवहार होती लक्ष्मी योजना जितेबाला बीएसकेवाई बड़ व्यवहार कर सरकार कहीं बीएसकेवाई किभली गरीब लोकंर सहायक होती 5450 कोटी टंका व्यवहार होती बीएसकेवाई कहीं अनेक गरीब लोक जो मैंने पैसा ना जो मैंने बीएसकेवाई द्वारा उपकृत होती राज्य सरकार को धन्यवाद देते सरकार को फोकस रही मेट्रो प्रकल्प 1000 कोटी व्यवहार कर मेट्रो प्रकल्प को सरकार देखा कि फोकस जेहेतु कर भुवनेश्वर तैयारी होची मेट्रो प्रकल्प और सरकार हुए तो मेट्रो प्रकल्प उपर फोकस करपारती बोली अनेक चर्चा होता फोकस कर 1000 कोटी व्यवहार कर मेट्रो प्रकल्प की विधानसभा कामचला बजेट आसी जेहेतु देखा कि कामचला बजेट ता सहित ये निर्वाचन पूर्व ये बजेट निश्चित भाव में कहीपर ये बेस गुरुत्व बहन करुच्ची सरकार ग्रामांचल उपर फोकस कर लक्ष्मी बस 1191 कोटी व्यवहार कर देखो लक्ष्मी बस जो उपात अंचल लोक मैंने विभिन्न असुविधार सामना करुले लक्ष्मी बस चलवा द्वारा से देखा कि छात्र छात्री आरंभ करके लोक मैंने 5 टंकार जीवासवा कर जीवन धारण उन्नति आसी उपकृत होती तेणु सरकार लक्ष्य रही कि गाँ गाँव में लक्ष्मी बस चलो
बिल्कुल एवं आम दर्शक मानू लगातार भाव में देखा क्यों विभाग प्रति क्यों योजना प्रति सरकार अनुदान किभली रही मोटामोटी भाव में जब आम बजेट को देखा ताहले चिराचरित बजेट कहले किसी भूल हम ना जो सब योजना कार्यकारी करा से सब योजना अनुदान बढ़ी सहित राज्य सरकार लक्ष्मी योजना हो जहाँ सब नुआ योजना थिला बीएसकेवाई नवीन कार्ड हो ए सब योजना अनुदान बढ़ी तेणु जनसाधारण को सुहाइला भली एक बजेट कहले भूल हम ना बजेटर रूपरेख नहीं विस्तृत भाव में आम आलोचना करवा डॉक्टर कुमरवर दास आम सहित रोचंती अर्थनीति विशेषज्ञ डॉक्टर दास आपन को स्वागत करुच्ची बजेट रूपरेख को नहीं जो चर्चा होता ताकू नहीं आपंकर प्राथमिक मतामत कौन रहिबो एक चिराचरित बजेट बोली अभिहित करिवे कि
मो मतरे ये जो बजेट वोट एंड अकाउंट जो बजेट इंटरिम बजेट से युक्त विक्रम केसरी आरो उपस्थापन करिसेंती से बजेट टिके विकास दिगरे ध्यान देइछंती जदिओ इलेक्शन आसुची आगको एवं विशेष संतुष्टिकरण नीति अवलंबन करने कथा किंतु ता संगरे लोकप्रिय प्रकल्प मानकू बेसी प्राधान्य देवा कथा किंतु मो मतरे किछि भित्तिभूमि को अग्राधिकार दि जाइए और विकास क्षेत्र में किसी ध्यान दि जाइए तेणुक ये अनेक गुड़े स्वागत योग्य पदक्षेप नियाएवं ओडिशा सरकार ये जो विकासमुखी बा लोकाभिमुखी कार्यक्रम रही जो थे कि 1000 कोटी टंकार मेट्रो आउ जो विभिन्न भित्तिभूमि जो नवीन ओडिशा माध्यम 4000 कोटी टंका जो विनियोग करा जाउछि एवं आमर लक्ष्मी बस ये सब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट होछि बोली मोर लक्ष्य करा जाउछि एवं एथर विकास को बेसी प्राधान्य दिया जाइछि जोड़ा कि आराम रे से राजनीतिक दृष्टिकोण लोकप्रिय लोक को संतुष्ट करने पाई विशेष योजना न रखी जो तांकर प्राधान्यता दि जाइछि विकास पाई ओडिशार विकास पाई तेणुक स्वागत योग्य पदक्षेप यदि इंटरिम बजेट एटा 1 लाख बिलियन 100 लाख बिलियन डॉलर पहुँचो आमर बजेट तेणु यहाँ गोटे बहुत बड़ा विकासमुखी बजेट बोली मु कहूँ।
आपण देखो डॉक्टर दास जो राज्य अभिवृद्धि हार जातीय हार ठार अधिक राज्य अभिवृद्धि हार 7.25% रही जहाँकि जातीय हार ठार 1% अधिक आपण देखो जो कथा अनुमान करा डॉक्टर दास सरकार हुए तो स्वास्थ्य शिक्षा और जमती डेवलपमेंट जमती सहित पूरापूरी यही सब दिग को फोकस करपारती तो आम से सब प्रतिफलन देखा मिलला कि एथर बजेट रे और निर्वाचन पूर्व काम चला बजेट केते गुरुत्व बहन करुछि बोली आपण भाबुछंती।
हाँ निर्वाचन पूर्व साधारणतः लोकप्रिय पदक्षेप सब नि जाए लोकप्रिय बजेट लोक संतुष्टि करने लोक खुशी करने अनेक गुड़े पदक्षेप दि जाए सत कथा से कहुए भल राजनीति भल बजेट किंतु ये व्यतिक्रम कौन आम सरकार ओडिशा सरकार अनेक गुड़े भित्तिभूमि आउ जो मेट्रो आउ शिक्षा कृषि कृषि जो व्यवहार कर जनापड़ी यहाँ कृषि विकास शिक्षार विकास एवं भित्तिभूमिर विकास इथको ध्यान देइछंती जोड़ा कि गोटे स्वागतयोग्य पदक्षेप सरकार नीति नियम से आड़ को जीव निश्चय जे कि ओडिशार दीर्घ मियादी विकास पई ध्यान दिबा दरकार राजनीतिक एजेंडा राजनीतिक पदक्षेप विशेष न नेबाटा होची स्वागतयोग्य पदक्षेप
निश्चित भाव में आपण कहउछंती गोटे विकास बजेट एवं आपण बजेट को डॉक्टर दास स्वागत मध करूछंती वरिष्ठ सांबादिक शीतल तरंग बेउरी आम सहित जोड़ी होइछंती सिक्त बेउरी आपण को स्वागत ए कामचला बजेट को वरिष्ठ सांबादिक भाव आपण केमती देखुछंती काहे कि ना सरकार को फोकस रहिछि कृषि उपरे कृषक मानक उपरे महिला सशक्तिकरण उपरे ता सहित भित्तिभूमि उपरे सरकार फोकस करिछंती स्वास्थ्य उच्च शिक्षा पूरा बजेट को आपण केमती एनालिसिस करिवे।
इलेक्शन पूर्व स्वागत केमती गोटे बजेट कामचला बजेट परिवेशन करने कथा सेमती एक्जाक्टली से भाया गोटे बजेट परिवेशन देखो इंटरिम बजेट यूजुअली इलेक्शन पूर्व 4 मास कामचला बजेट होता है इंटरिम बजेट का तो तेणु सरकार पाखे स्कोप बहुत कम था से स्कोप लिमिटेड स्कोप भितर केमती समस्त को संतुष्ट कला भाया आपन को गोटे बजेट तैयारी करिया पड़िबो काहे ना आगे इलेक्शन अछि एक्जेक्टली सेया करचंती किंतु सही लिमिटेशन भीतर भी किछटा सिग्निफिकेंट इंफॉर्मेशन देइचंती अकॉर्डिंग टू मी सेटार गोटे सबुठ बड़ सिग्निफिकेंट होची जो अभिवृद्धि हार नेशनल लेवल
ओके श्रीजुक्त बेउरिया मु परवर्ती समय पुणी थे फेरुची आपण पाखु डॉक्टर दास नूतनत्व आपण कौन देखिले बजेट रे नुआ कौन लगिला कारण 2019 रे मध्य आमे समान धरणर एक बजेट देखिथिले बा जेतेबेले पुणी सरकार गठन हेबो निश्चय पूर्णांग बजेट आसीबो बा विगत बजेट थारु वर्तमान रो बजेट रे पार्थक्य कौन आपण देखिले एवं नूतनत्व कौन देखुचंती।
गत वर्षर बजेट अपेक्षा ए वर्षर बजेट प्राय 255,000 लक्ष बिलियन टंकार परिणत हो बजेट निश्चित भाव गत वर्ष अपेक्षा बढ़ी प्राय 11-12% व्ययबराद तो बजेटर आकार वृद्धि पाई बजेटर संरचना टी परिवर्तन होती संरचना माने ये जो भित्तिभूमि को एत अग्राधिकार दि जाए कृषि कृषि 28,000 कोटी टंका दि जाए विजु स्वास्थ्य स्वास्थ्य योजना प्राय 5,450 लक्ष डॉलर दि जाए
सर मु क्षमा चाहूँ आपको टिके अटकेबा चाहूँ आम बजेट संपर्क में तो आलोचना करवा किंतु वर्तमान एएनआई रु एक स्वतंत्र साक्षात्कार आसुची एवं जोंथरे बीके पांड्यान उपस्थित अछंती आसंतु यार सीधा प्रसारण देखिबा।
The first profit what he made, he went all the way to Paris, mobilized some more funds and set up Kalinga Prize for popularization of science as an alternative for Nobel Prize. He went all the way to UN and set up this when he was 32 or 33.
This is 1960s, I would think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
So apparently Jawaharlal Nehru called and asked I think that time this clearances for depositing money and all goes to the Prime Minister at that time, maybe because of this whatever this exchange policy and all. Why he wants to set up a international prize for popularization of science? Why can't you do something in the in India? So he was called and he asked, and Biju Babu said that I want to set up something in my state's honor. It will be called Kalinga Prize for Popularization of Science. I am convinced that I have to do it at the UN, so I'll do it for you, for the state. Imagine a mid-30s person, what kind of thinking is it, thought process. He makes some profit, takes it, goes there and sets up the, and even now, many Nobel laureates have got the award, Kalinga Prize, UNESCO Kalinga Award. Very popular, prestigious award.
Yeah.
And what he did with that, he made an arrangement with them. He was very convinced that if India has to move forward, scientific temper has to come into the people. So what he did, and he was very convinced that Industrial Revolution, when it happened in the Europe, India was bypassed. So if we do popularization of science, India will come up. India will also get a chance to be a global leader. That was the thought process by which he went there. So anyone who wins this Kalinga UNESCO award, they have to come to India, spend about 2 months or so, going to the universities, giving speech on why science is important, how innovative you can be. See the thought process behind this whole thing. It was way ahead of his time.
Amazing. Yeah.
The commitment he had for the country to popularize science, the commitment he had for the state, he went and put the name Kalinga in UNESCO, and the commitment he had for overall development, that he made some profit and he went all the way to Paris and set up a award. Even now it's one of the most popular awards. This is one example I should give about Biju Babu. The next example, of course, everyone knows about how he went all the way to Indonesia. It was the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru's call that these Danish troops are again coming back, and there is a rebellion happening, and you have to help rescue the Indonesian freedom fighters.
Yeah.
So if you don't rescue the freedom fighters, there is a possibility the country again going back to Dutch rule. So he trusted Biju Babu to go and rescue. Here there is a very interesting part which many people will not know. His co-pilot was his wife, Gyan Ma was his co-pilot. And this happened, I think, in 1947. Naveen Babu was 1 year old. Imagine a father who takes the mother also with him in a daredevil mission all the way to Java in their Dakota flight to rescue the Indonesian freedom fighters.
Yeah.
That is the commitment of this man. He was a pilot. He was a pilot. So he went all the way. And we all should know that 7 days or 10 days before he went and landed, one more aircraft of his Kalinga Airlines was shot down by the Dutch forces. Almost everyone was killed except one. So that is the risk he was taking. Because the Prime Minister said, there was a conference of Asian countries going to happen in Delhi. If the Indonesia will not be represented here by their freedom fighters, Indonesia as a country will not have a representation here. That was the brief given to Biju Babu by Pandit Nehru. So he went all the way via Singapore, went there. He used all his techniques to fly low to avoid the radar. He landed there, and then there was no fuel available. So all these tanks and damaged aircraft, which was left by Japanese forces, he mobilized fuel from that and used it and flew all the way with the freedom fighters to Singapore and then to India. That's how he has played a huge role in the Indonesian freedom struggle. And he was awarded Bhumiputra by Indonesia.
Sukarno, no? President Sukarno gave at that time.
President Sukarno gave, and they were family friends. And in
his
fact,
daughter also then, Sukarno Putri.
So she was named by Biju Babu.
Biju Babu. Yeah, tell us about that also. That's true.
So she was named Megawati. So
the
whatever
clouds, there was that whole thing that
rains
it was
happening.
raining,
So he named her as Megawati. So she was Megawati Sukarno Putri.
Yeah, correct. It's such an interesting story.
Absolutely.
So there's this cult of Biju Babu, and then there is a cult of Naveen Babu. Now Naveen
In fact,
Odisha.
I'll share one more very interesting stuff
Please do.
about
Yes.
Biju Babu, which many people would not know. This was during the Indo-Bangladesh war.
Yeah. Kashmir.
Yeah, Indo-Bangladesh war.
He brought the troops there.
No. In Kashmir, he was one of the first pilots to land in Srinagar when
The rebels came in.
rebels came, and he rescued a lot of people. He airdropped a lot of force.
Yeah.
That was a turning point in the Kashmir issue at that point of time. This is about Indonesia. This is about
Bangladesh.
Yes,
Liberation war.
Yes. At that point of time, Indonesia was approached by Pakistan to support Pakistan in the war against India's war for Bangladesh. So Pakistan sought the support of Indonesia, both being Muslim-dominated countries. So they were wanting to safeguard Bangladesh.
And they wouldn't have to fly over the Indian subcontinent. They could have flown from Indonesia, the troops. That is also was one of the
That was one of the ideas. I think this was clearly for deploying the Navy and give a deterrent in the Bay of Bengal. So if they deploy the Navy and give a deterrent, then it will cause problems in force deployment for India. So that time the Prime Minister asked Biju Babu to take up with the Prime Minister of Indonesia. This many people don't know. He spoke and he stopped Indonesia from getting into the war. And that was a big turning point at that point of time for the war. And that really helped India. These are things which nobody knows. In fact, he was responsible for setting up the Indo-Tibet Border Protection Force. He was tasked to find out how do we seal our borders, what should we do. So he gave the suggestion for setting up the Indo-Tibetan Border Security Force and take as many people from the locality, make them a force. They should be the first line of defense for India.
Quite amazing. Quite amazing about the contribution of Biju Babu for the national security of this country.
Absolutely. In fact, one more issue is that he was sent by Jawaharlal Nehru, the Prime Minister, to United States. I think that was the Chinese war. So he was
62.
62, yeah. So he was asked to go and mobilize for
Public
support
opinion.
also for arms support.
Okay.
He was sent. So he didn't go on. He went and asked for arms as well as he asked for nuclear support. That time there was a furor in the parliament, Indian parliament. So he said that if China has nuclear weapons, if they are planning to attack India, what India will do. So if I go there, I don't go for guns. I have to ask something substantial, strategic for India. That is the kind of thought process he had for the country.
Certainly not the pacifist that Nehru
Absolutely.
was.
He was completely committed for the country, and come what may, whatever is the superpower they are, we should show our power. That was the commitment with which he always functioned. We all know about the interim test range in Chandipur.
The range here. Yes.
From where all our missiles are tested.
Yeah.
So there is an interesting story in that as well. So the DRDO identified 2-3 places in the country to set up the test firing range, interim test ranges to fire the missiles. The topmost place was in Balasore. They selected these Wheeler Islands. They thought that this cannot be identified, secure, and it won't hit the population even if some mistake happens. So all those safety hazards and everything put together, they selected this Wheeler Island. And the files were put up for the chief minister.
That's in the Bay of Bengal.
Bay of Bengal, which is part of, it's coming in Odisha.
Yeah.
So when the files were put up for giving Wheeler Islands to DRDO, none of them supported. It was in the bureaucracy, everyone rejected it, saying that, see, it will again cause serious dislocation to the fishermen. They will keep on doing tests. There will be so much of restriction. So many people are dependent on fishing this place. And it will also cause unnecessary disturbance for us. So let's not give it. Already we have given a large portion of our coast for air defense. So again, one more stretch will be lost. So Mr. Abdul Kalam was the DRDO chief that time. So he came and met Biju Babu. The file had come to Biju Patnaik with every suggestion to reject it, why it should not be accepted. Generally, the chief minister goes with the suggestions given with so much of logic it is given. So he called
Given by the bureaucrats.
bureaucracy, yeah, the entire government setup.
Yeah, the chain of command.
Chain
that
of
is.
command, you say.
The joint secretary puts up the file and
Yes,
then it goes
additional
up.
secretary and everyone, and then field as well.
Yeah.
So when it came, Mr. Kalam had shot an appointment. Biju Babu had called him for a discussion. So he asked him only one question, that I have seen Indo-China wars. I have an invitation to go to China now. Will you promise me that if we give the land, you will make an intercontinental ballistic missile from here, which will hit the heart of China? Will you promise me? You promise me, then I will allot the land. So this is the conversation these two great nationalists had. So Mr. Abdul Kalam promised that, sir, I will do it. We have plans, and maybe in 15 years or so, we should have the ICBM tested from Wheeler Island. And Biju Babu signed the file, giving the land to them, free of cost, saying that this is in nation security, it is very much important. He rejected all the objections and he gave. The concluding part was in 2000, I'm not sure which year was that, 10, 11 or whatever year. They fired the intercontinental ballistic missile, and they had given a special invitation to the Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik. Your father had asked us that I'll give you this land, provided you have a ICBM from this place, and this is being tested, if you could come and witness it. He couldn't go because of reasons, but he wished them. So that's how this Wheeler Island happened. And when late Abdul Kalam passed away, Chief Minister named the Wheeler Island as APJ Abdul Kalam Islands. So you can see these three great nationalists in action: Naveen Patnaik, Biju Patnaik, and APJ Abdul Kalam.
Amazing, amazing. Tell us about, like I said, there's the cult of Biju Patnaik, which we have spoken about, and the amazing contribution to national security as well as to the state that he did. Now there is Naveen Odisha. What is the legacy of Naveen Patnaik? God give him long life, and wishing you the very best for the next term also. But what is the legacy of Naveen Patnaik, which you will say, and what is Naveen Odisha? What is this term Naveen Odisha? One keeps reading everywhere and hearing about it.
Okay, so he doesn't stop with Naveen Odisha. He says Naveen Odisha is an empowered Odisha, where a poorest of poor person also will dream big, and he will be empowered to achieve his dreams. That's Naveen Odisha. Whatever is your ambition, aspiration, you should be able to achieve. We should create an environment. We should empower you. The government should empower you to achieve that. Whatever is your dream, in whichever field you have. That is the kind of narrative the Chief Minister wants to leave. When he took over in 2000, the state was affected by this super cyclone in 1999. He decided that Odisha should not be known for mishandling disasters. Odisha should be known for handling disasters in the best possible way. He put systems in place. He did a vulnerability mapping of the entire coast, put up systems, put up cyclone shelters, put up flood shelters, put up advanced warning systems. So in 2012, when Phylin super cyclone hit, everyone predicted that Odisha will be hit very badly. Thousands of people are going to lose their lives.
Yeah.
And a part of Odisha will be ripped apart. That's what was the prediction. The cyclone came, hit with 230, 240 kilometers per hour. But then not a single life was lost. And Odisha was back into action in 10 days. Electricity was restored, water supply was restored. That is new Odisha. Yeah, Odisha, which sets benchmark in anything which it was known for its negativity. So we had articles written in editorial. We can check in Google. New York Times wrote a front page editorial saying that if you want to save a million life, learn it from a state called Odisha. That is the time in New Orleans in US, a cyclone of lesser magnitude had hit. It was only 150, 160 kilometers per hour, but hundreds of lives were lost.
Yeah.
So New York Times took a comparison between Odisha managing Phylin with 240 kilometers per hour and New Orleans or the US managing. So that is new Odisha. So if you take disaster management, this is the new Odisha, in which people of Odisha should be able to stand and look at the eye of cyclone and cross it without fear. Then the new Odisha is a food deficit Odisha to a food surplus Odisha. We are not dependent on food from other states. We are supplying for the nation's food security. A Odisha which was known for poverty is known for the maximum reduction in poverty in the country, perhaps in Asia. From 68% poverty levels, we have come to 11% poverty levels. In the last 5 years, 1 crore 5 lakh people have been lifted above poverty line, new Odisha. So in every field, the Chief Minister wants to set a benchmark by which people of Odisha feel empowered and aspirational.
You know, when we talk about self-sustaining economic models, I have to ask you about since we are going into general elections soon, about the culture of freebies. Elections are won these days on freebies, which are everybody is doing competitive politics on freebies. What is your view about it? Because that is an allegation which is made even about your state, that caste doesn't work here, communal card doesn't work here, what works is freebies. So what is your view about this?
I think one should differentiate clearly between what you do to empower people and what you do to dilute people's ambitions by giving freebies. If you give health assurance, you are very progressive. It's not considered as freebie. The biggest budget we have is for health. The Biju Swasthya Kalyan health assurance scheme. Most states follow a model of health insurance. The Chief Minister decided in a state like Odisha, we should not allow a third party like an insurance to decide on how much money should be compensated for a heart patient or how many for a kidney patient. So he went for an assurance model of health. We are covering 90% of the population with health assurance. 5 lakh rupee for the family. And if it's a woman patient, it's 10 lakh rupees. Think the empowerment it does.
This is different from the central scheme?
We are having our own scheme. We are not implementing the center scheme.
Why?
Because our scheme is much advanced and much progressive. So we don't have competition with it. The Chief Minister thought that we have to run the extra mile in a state like Odisha.
So that Ayushman Bharat scheme doesn't work here?
No, the state has not implemented. Okay. If we had implemented Ayushman Bharat, we would be covering 55 to 60% of the population. Here we are covering 90% of the population. He wants to take it to 100% population.
How come then there is no confrontation? Because when Mamata does the same thing Mamata Banerjee does it in Kolkata, where she says, I don't want the central scheme, I'll do my state scheme, there's confrontation.
Here, Naveen Patnaik doesn't do for the sake of confrontation. He is convinced that people of Odisha need that extra mile running to take care of their needs. Because he thinks health is one issue which can bring down, if in a family a health issue happens, a person who has just come out of poverty, he can slip back to poverty. And it will take at least 2 generations for him to come back again. So he strongly believes that if you have to fight poverty, then you have to assure health. And you have to do it in the best possible way. I may say that this is the best scheme in the country right now, which has 90% of the population being covered. And the state is spending about 260 crores a month, which is about 3,200 crores a year. You may take the country's Ayushman Bharat ka health budget only for treatment purpose. How much is it? It will be 9,000 crores or something. If a state like Odisha is spending 3,000 odd crores, so that is the reach the Chief Minister wants to give.
It's an ambitious project.
It's an aspirational reach. He wants to cover. So that is why there is no competition. The state wanted to do something extra for the people. So Naveen Patnaik implemented Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana, which is a game changer. The way Naveen Patnaik does politics is different from most people in the country. That is why he gets elected repeatedly. And instead of anti-incumbency, he has pro-incumbency. I won't be qualified to speak about others, but I can say with all conviction, Mr. Naveen Patnaik's brand of politics is very different. He keeps people at its forefront, can take any risk for that.
So are you the heir to Naveen Babu's politics?
As Honorable CM has always said, that people of Odisha will decide who will succeed him. I think that is the best answer to give. I'm just helping him in whichever way I can. I don't have any ambitions. I'm just helping him, helping the Chief Minister, Mr. Naveen Patnaik, in whichever way he wants me to do for him. In fact, I'm not even contesting the elections.
Why are you not contesting the elections?
I have joined this with a clear heart to make Naveen Patnaik Chief Minister for the 6th time. So I told the Honorable Chief Minister, I am going to assist you in this election process. I am going to work for you. No expectations. I'll work for you. That is
In this state, elections are held along with the Lok Sabha polls.
Yes.
So you are not even going to contest the Lok Sabha election?
No, I'm not going to contest any. In 2024, I'm not going to contest any elections.
So you're not even going to attend, go into the assembly or the parliament through the through the Rajya Sabha way?
No, no. I was asked for a party post also. I said no. I'll just work for Naveen Patnaik. He is my leader. I draw a lot of inspiration from him. He has given me so much freedom for so long to do great work. So I'm indebted to him and the state. The people of state have shown so much love and affection for me. So I go with the flow.
But then you didn't resign from the civil service. That is how you were going to do it.
So I won't be able to do the political work for the Chief Minister if I'm going to continue in bureaucracy. One should draw the line. So,
but what is wrong in contesting election? It's not a wrong thing to do.
No, not at all. We all are products of democracy. Ours is a democratic country. But in 2024, I decided that I should be helping the Chief Minister. I want to help him because whatever said and done, it's his 6th term. And I draw inspiration from him. He's 78 years old. How much hard work he does. One draws inspiration from him.
You also are known to take your meetings at 4 a.m. and things like that, right? That's the talk in this state, that you are a hard taskmaster.
I think we learn from the Chief Minister, but 4 a.m. is because your mind is cool and you see things in a different perspective. You don't disturb anyone. You are very clear in what you want to do. You get to see things as such. So, and it's a good time to work Brahma Muhurtam.
But Mr. Pandya, if Naveen Babu has played such an important role in your life, in molding your thoughts, in molding your ambitions for your state, if he's going to decide that you are the Uttaradhikari, then why do you hesitate? Why are you shrinking away from that legacy that he wants to bestow on you, if he wants to do it? And it seems apparent to everybody that he wants to do that.
We are 2 months into election now. I just see, like when Arjuna was asked, all 5 Pandavas were asked what they see in the tree. Somebody said the tree ka branch and somebody said the bird, and only Arjuna saw that eye of the bird. I think I'm clear in my focus right now. He has to create a record. As the longest serving Chief Minister of the country, he deserves it. And my sweat, blood, whatever you call it, my time, everything is for that. He has done such great work for the state. I should not think anything about myself. In fact, when I joined the party and the first speech I gave, I said that only, that after being witness to what transformation Lord Jagannath's temple has gone through, and you are also a witness in that process. I don't need anything in life. I'll just work for the Chief Minister. That's and I leave everything of my future to Lord Jagannath.
Nice. Pardon?
Spiritual governance.
Spiritual.
This is spiritual governance. You asked what is spiritual governance. This is what I think spiritual governance means.
Pardon me for asking this, but as a journalist, sometimes one has to ask questions which might sound harsh. I don't mean to sound harsh, but I will ask this question because...
No, you ask in the best possible way, even harsh questions.
Thank you. So I have to ask this because people talk about Naveen Babu's health being not so great. How is his health right now? Will he be able to take the rigors of an electoral process and a next term after that?
I think he is in the best of health, what one expects from a 78-year-old person who has given like 25 years of his life for public service, working day and night. For that kind of work what he has put in and the age what he is in, I think he is in the pink of his health. All these rumors sometimes political opponents create. Sometimes inside the party, some people who are ambitious to become chief ministers, they create these kind of rumors. But otherwise, he is in the best of hands. His physician is Dr. Ramakant Panda, one of the best in the country, and Dr. Subrat Acharya. These two doctors take care of him for whatever he needs. So he's in the best hands and he's in the pink of health. He should be able to, he walks every day. And in fact, recently he did the full parikrama. In hot sun, he did full parikrama.
Okay.
So he's in good shape for whatever you call it for a 78-year-old.
So, why is the BJD not part of the opposition alliance? Because it is not part of the NDA, it's not part of the opposition alliance. It takes issue-based support, it gives issue-based support to the NDA when need be. What prevents him from joining the India alliance? One question is that. Second question is, did anybody from the Gandhi family ask Mr. Patnaik? Because the Gandhi family had very close relations with Bijuda. So did anybody reach out to Naveen Babu asking him to be part of this alliance?
He is now 24 years as chief minister. They know very well as to what is Naveen Patnaik, who is Naveen Patnaik. His birth was anti-Congress in the state. He fought against the corruption of Congress in the state. So I don't see any scope for the chief minister to think about an alliance with Congress. He has always stated it publicly. So that's where he stands. Of course, there will be always, I think, Mr. Nitish Kumar came here all the way to convince Naveen Babu to join India alliance. Mamta
And
Didi
now
also came.
Nitish Babu is in the other camp.
So many leaders came, keep coming, and Naveen Babu is very polite, they all know each other for quite some time, 3 decades, 2.5 decades, they know each other. They are good friends. They talk nicely. And that's where
Who are his opponents, political opponents in the state? Which party is really in the opposition as such? Because the BJP has got 8 seats, if I'm not mistaken.
So that was in 2014, they got 9 seats. This time they got 23 seats. In assembly, I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about
parliament. Parliament, 8 seats, yes.
8 seats, right? And they are hoping to get more seats. So when, what one is hearing from opinion polls and things like that is that after the Ram Temple construction, some political mileage will be got by the BJP. So does Naveen Babu see the BJP as the principal opposition when it comes to Lok Sabha in the state, and who's the principal opposition in the state elections?
See, if you take the numbers, it's the BJP which is the opposition party in the state. Congress is third now. So both in Lok Sabha and in Assembly, BJP is the number 2 party in the state.
So how are you friends? Again, I beg to ask, I mean, I'm at the sound of repeating again and again, how is a number 1 party friends with a number 2 party? That just goes against the grain of politics, not just in India, worldwide.
So he believes in doing politics only during elections. He doesn't believe otherwise. That's how the state gets its growth momentum maintained. If you hear his speeches, he makes it very clear that I will have a constructive cooperation with the center. I want the state to progress. I am not here to fight with BJP. I am not here to fight with Congress. I want the state to grow. Whatever is required for the state to grow, I'll do it. I'll sacrifice. I'll compromise. But I want my state to grow. When elections are happening, there will be electoral politics. But otherwise, that is one of the main reasons the Chief Minister is fully supportive of simultaneous elections for both Assembly and Parliament. He thinks that the political atmosphere of the country should not always be in a high temperature. It should cool down so that development happens. If one state or other elections keep happening, the political atmosphere is vitiated. That doesn't go good for developmental politics.
So we were talking about the rebellion towards Naveen Babu. That is, we talked about one rebellion. The second rebellion is also when one talks about Jai Panda, and that he was very close to the Patnaik family. What went wrong there? What soured, and why did things go so uncomfortable between the two?
It was after 2014 elections. In 2014 elections, BJD had won 20 out of 21 seats in Lok Sabha. We were the fourth largest party. For the first time in parliamentary history, BJD became fourth largest party. Otherwise, there are bigger parties. Because BJD won 20 out of 21 seats, it became the fourth largest party. And Mr. Jai Panda called the chief minister after the swearing in was over, government formation had happened, and they were forming all these committees in 2014. So that time he had called CM, I was there. And he told that late Jetli ji had spoken to him and said that in case your party will nominate you for the committee chairmanship, then we would be interested in giving you the finance committee, which generally goes to the first opposition party, not the fourth one. It is the biggest party. It's the biggest committee or the most powerful committee. Generally, it goes to the, I think, Congress or whoever will be the number 2 party, it should be given. It is generally given as a tradition, but if you will nominate me, then they will give it to me. This is what he told. The CM asked, see, whoever BJD nominates, if they are willing to give, it's okay. But if I have to nominate you, then only that will be given. It doesn't sound good. That's what the chief minister said. And then he took some time. He had previous instances where he was a member of the finance committee. And he got many of his loans for his corporate business written off through banks, whatever process they followed. So there was always an allegation that he used his finance committee membership to get these favors done for the company. So that played in the chief minister's mind. So he didn't agree to make him as finance committee ka head. This is the proposal he gave. This is the reaction the chief minister gave. And this is what I witnessed. And after that, the relationship became, Mr. Jai Panda was not very happy with this decision. Then what happened, there were these rumors, health rumors about the chief minister. We are talking about 2015, 16, 15, 10 years back, 9 years back almost. Whenever any cabinet minister, union cabinet minister, the chief minister will meet, call on or some meeting mein, first they, how is your health, Naveen Babu? Oh, I'm fine. I don't have any problem. Then Jai told that your health is not good. It hits CM. He has mentioned this in his own interview in 2019, how he spread rumors about his health. Then the worst thing happened when one of chief minister's friend, who is a very powerful political leader in Madhya Pradesh, he called Mr. Prem Patnaik, chief minister's brother, and asked him, Naveen Babu is going to London for a treatment. This is 2015, 15-16. Naveen Babu is going to London for a treatment. I have so many contacts. Why he won't take my help? So Prem Patnaik said, who told you this? He is going to London for treatment. No, Jai told me that he is arranging everything. Then Mr. Prem Patnaik told that leader from Madhya Pradesh, why don't you ask Naveen Babu and ask him what help he needs. So he called, this leader from Madhya Pradesh called Naveen Babu and asked, do you need any help in London? Are you going to London? He said, no, I'm not going. Why I should go? I just went 2 years back and they attempted a coup on me. I'm not going. Then he said, no, I was told by Jai that you are going for some medical treatment and everything. Then CM was very upset. Oh, this is what is happening. Why this is what... And at that point of time, there was articles, there were social media posts, everything about how bad the chief minister's health is and how he should find somebody to take over the party and the government. And that was the narrative being played. And that is when the chief minister decided it's high time that we move away from people whom we once trusted.
But do you think that Mr. Jay Panda being a politician of repute would mount this kind of a rebellion, knowing fully well that that's not the way politics is done in the BJD, because one rebellion had already failed.
No, he didn't try to create a rebellion in this case. He tried to create a narrative that Chief Minister's health is not good, and that people should look for new leadership. That's the narrative he was trying to give. He was in a regional party. The regional party is as strong as the leader's health is. Health of a leader is an asset for a regional party. So he was trying to dilute that asset of the regional party and creating confusion amongst the minds of MLAs. We have enough, talks from our own MLAs as to how it was being spread continuously. Chief Minister never believed all these rumors till he heard from two of the important people who have nothing to do with Odisha, taking his name and telling. That's when he decided, okay. And what is the narrative? That he is not in his good health and he may collapse anytime. So party should look for a fresh leadership. And he was standing there as the fresh leader or the competent leader to take over. So this is what was being played, which the Chief Minister did not like. There was absolutely no truth. Now we are in 2024, almost 9 years after. There were articles in magazines, national magazines, reputed magazines about Chief Minister's health. See, he refuted all those things in 2019 elections. But the damage what Mr. Jayapanda tried to create was substantial. And it was not good for a person who used to have dinner and lunch with the Chief Minister to do this behind his back. It was very sad. And Naveen Babu believes in very ethical kind of politics, and he never believed. When the local leaders told, he never believed that. He thought that they are trying to play between me and Jai. But when outside leaders, union cabinet ministers and his own friends from outside, who have nothing to do with Odisha, spoke, then he was convinced that, okay, this is what he is trying to do.
The political atmosphere this week, when I'm doing this interview, is going to get highly...
Another day, another...
बड़का 14,000 चाषी मंडी को आसी नाहंती जिला को 38 लाख क्विंटाल धान संग्रह पर लक्ष्य धार्य होता हेले 34,34,000 क्विंटाल धान किणवा पर मंडी गुड़िक ताला झुलुछि। सेलिब्रिटी जोड़ी अनुभव वर्षा मध्य छाड़पत्र गत किछि दिन धरी सारा राज्य में चर्चा थिबा सांसद अनुभव महांती अभिनेत्री वर्षा प्रियदर्शिनी विवाह विच्छेद मामलें सामना को आसी बड़ घटना। अनुभव गतकाली राति सोशल मीडिया साइट एक्स रे निज विवाह विच्छेद संपर्क में सूचना देइछंती। अनुभव लिखिछंती विवाहर 10 वर्ष पूर्ति पूर्व छाड़पत्र होइछे एने एक कोर्ट निर्देश फोटोकॉपी को भी से अटैच करिछंती। गत 10 वर्ष धरी मिछ विवाह बंधन हृदयहीन संपर्क एवं कष्टदायक वर्ष ये सबु थिला। एबे खुशी पाई प्रार्थना करंतु बोली लिखिछंती। आज अर्थात 8 फेब्रुआरी अनुभव वर्षा विवाहर 10 वर्ष पूर्ति होइतिला। किंतु यार ठीक गोटे दिन पूर्व विवाह विच्छेद संपर्क में सूचना देइछंती अनुभव। गत किछि वर्ष धरी उभयंक विवाह विच्छेद मामला बेस चर्चा रे रहिछि। बंधुक मुनरे 10 लाख लुट सुंदरगढ़ कोईडा रायकेला निकट रे थिबा परिवहन संस्था ऑफिस रु बंधुक मुनरे लुट अभियोग। 5 जन दुर्वृत्त बंधुक देखाई लुटि नेले 10 लाख लुटर दृश्य सीसीटीवी रे कैद। कोईडा पुलिस तदंत आरंभ करिछि। राज्यपालଙ୍କ अभिभाषण उपरे धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव रे मुख्यमंत्री रखिछंती विवृत्ति कहिछंती लाभ योजना आदिवासी बहुत सहायक हेबो। ओडिशा राजस्व बड़का राज्य रे परिगणित होइछि। 2000 मसीह से सरकार को आसला बेले राज्य में 70 भाग लोक दारिद्र्य सीमारेखा तले थिले। एबे मात्र 10% लोक अछंती। यह राज्य सरकार बड़ सफलता बोली कहिसंती मुख्यमंत्री। बीएसकेवाई देशर सबठु भल योजना बोली कहिसंती नवीन। परी हत्याकांड प्रसंग में मुख्यमंत्री कहिसंती जे एभली एक संवेदनशील घटना रे विरोधी राजनीति करुछंती। मंगलवार परी घटना रे दोषी को दंड विधान करा जायछि।
ए प्रसंग को नहीं विरोधीहीन राजनीति करुछंती श्रीमंदिर परिक्रमा प्रकल्प और लिंगराज परिक्रमा प्रकल्प को बंद करने उद्यम करा विकास और अपराध को नहीं राजनीति करने कथा नुहे बोली विवृत्ति देइछंती मुख्यमंत्री। आज पाकिस्तान में निर्वाचन 336 आसन विशिष्ट नेशनल असेंबली 266 आसन होउछि भोटिंग बाकी 60 आसन मध्यरु 60 महिलांक पई एवं बाकी 10 अण मुस्लिम प्रार्थींक पई संरक्षित रहिछि। 266 आसन पई दौड़े अछंती 5121 प्रार्थी सेमानंक मध्यरु 4806 जन पुरुष होइतबा बेले 312 जन महिला 2 जन तृतीय लिंगी एथर निर्वाचन लड़ुछंती। वोटिंग पाई सारा देश में 92,582 पोलिंग बूथ करा जायछि। पाकिस्तान समय अनुसार सकाळ 9 रु संध्या 5 जाए चलिबो मतदान। पाकिस्तान लोक संख्या 241 नियुक्त होइतबा बेले 18 वर्ष ऊर्ध्व 128 नियुक्त सेमानक मताधिकार साब्यस्त करिवे। निर्वाचन में 160 पंजीकृत राजनैतिक दल प्रार्थी देइछंती किछि प्रार्थी मध्य स्वाधीन भाव में निर्वाचन लड़ुछंती। फलाफल स्पष्ट होगा पर से निज इच्छा जेकोसी राजनैतिक दल में सामिल हो पारे जो दल को 169 आसन मिल से ही सरकार गढ़। एथर पाकिस्तान निर्वाचन में मुख्यतः दुई प्रमुख दल पूर्वतन प्रधानमंत्री नवाज शरीफ को पाकिस्तान मुस्लिम लीग नवाज और बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी और आसिफ अली जरदारी पाकिस्तान पीपुल्स पार्टी मध्य लड़ई होउछि। तेबे नवाज शरीफ को पला भारी जनापड़ी जेते दूर आशा चतुर्थ थर पर से पाकिस्तान प्रधानमंत्री हो पारती। मधुबाबू पेंशन योजना रे अंतर्भुक्त हेले आ 4,13,000 नुआ हिताधिकारी सरकार एभली घोषणा पर खुशी व्यक्त करिसेंती वृद्ध वृद्धांक समेत समस्त
by very common people, and there were the highest paid advocates appearing for them in Supreme Court, in High Court. So who pays for these advocates who charge 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs per appearance? There was a magical hand or a mysterious hand behind all these people who went to Supreme Court to stall this project. Their only intention was that it should not be done during Naveen Babu's time. He may get political mileage, but whereas he risked his political career in going ahead with this project, Honorable Supreme Court gave a beautiful order saying that this project should go on in the interest of devotees, in the interest of temple. The temple security is very important. There were lodges in 10 meters away, there were sky-rise lodges. From the lodge you can see inside the temple. If somebody throws a grenade or somebody does some, that we have instances of attacks in temple in our country. And once in a month or once in 2-3 months you will get these alerts. Whenever there is any terrorist attack, you get the intelligence inputs in the government saying that guard your temple. But when the temple is surrounded by so many lodges, what kind of security you can provide to the temple? That's one of the prime reasons why the Chief Minister was very interested that we should clean up all these places.
So is there a special security force that is
Absolutely. Right now we have got the best of technology, the best of monitoring systems, and the Chief Minister has put a one battalion, special battalion to protect the temple.
Right. Let me come back to politics. You said you were swearing by it that you're not going to fight an election
In 2024.
in 2024.
Yes.
Right. Is the BJD going to put an all-out effort for the Lok Sabha polls in 2024? Because you see a kind of a half-hearted way. It's like an understanding कि BJP के साथ कि तुम center वाला लड़ लो, हम state वाला लड़ लेंगे.
It doesn't work like that in elections. You might have covered so many elections. How do you tell people that? It's not possible.
But people in this state are very clever. When they vote, I mean clever in the sense I mean it nicely, that when they vote for the state, they vote for BJD, and when they vote for the center, they vote for the BJP in many instances, which means that politically they're very well aware what they are doing. So is it because
So if I may analyze the 2019 election results, BJP won 8 seats. Out of the 8 seats, 5 seats they won with less than 10,000 margin.
Because what do you suggest?
So you are saying about the dual voting. Now, it was a very narrow
Yeah.
kind of result.
So if you had worked a little harder, you mean...
No. Every election, I think Naveen Babu puts his best front, and also the...
এই পরিপ্রেক্ষীরে ঢেঙ্কানাল সদর ব্লকরে মোট 1164 জন নূয়া হিতাধিকারী আবেদন করেছিলেন। সেমানଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ গাইডলাইন ଆସିବା ପରେ ହିତାଧିକାରୀଙ୍କୁ ତୁରନ୍ତ ଟଙ୍କା ବଣ୍ଟନ କରାଯିବ ବୋଲି କହିଛନ୍ତି ଢେଙ୍କାନାଳ ସଦର ଗୋଷ୍ଠୀ ଉନ୍ନୟନ ଅଧିକାରୀ ଆୟୁଷୀ ମହାପାତ୍ର। सरकारଙ୍କ एभଳି पदक्षेप स्वागत करने सह राज्य सरकार को धन्यवाद देइछंती म्युनिसिपालिटी उपाध्यक्ष। बलांगीर जिले में धान मंडी परिचालन में व्यापक अनियमितता लक्ष्य धार्य पूरण होगा पूर्व मंडीगुड़िक बंद हो गला। जिले में खरीफ ऋतु पर नवेम्बर 28 रु धान मंडी खोली हेले जनवरी 31 बेलू धान मंडीगुड़िक बंद हो जाइछि। भल धान चाष होइतिबारु 89,423 जन चाषी धान बिक्री करने को पोर्टाल रे निज ना पंजीकरण करथिले। हेले 31 जनवरी सुधा 75,000 चाषी मंडी रे धान बिक्री करिसंते। बड़का 14,000 चाषी मंडी को आसी नाहंती। जिला को 38 लाख क्विंटाल धान संग्रह पर लक्ष्य धार्य होता हेले 34,34,000 क्विंटाल धान किणवा पर मंडी गुड़िक ताला झुलुछि। सेलिब्रिटी जोड़ी अनुभव वर्षा मध्य छाड़पत्र गत किछि दिन धरी सारा राज्य में चर्चा रे सांसद अनुभव महांती अभिनेत्री वर्षा प्रियदर्शिनी विवाह विच्छेद मामलें सामना को आसुछि बड़ घटना। अनुभव गतकाली राति सोशल मीडिया साइट एक्स रे निज विवाह विच्छेद संपर्क में सूचना देइछंती। अनुभव लिखिछंती विवाहर 10 वर्ष पूर्ति पूर्व छाड़पत्र होइछि। एने एक कोर्ट निर्देशर फोटोकॉपी को भी से अटैच करिछंती। गत 10 वर्ष धरी मिछ विवाह बंधन हृदयहीन संपर्क एवं कष्टदायक वर्ष ए सबु थिला। एबे खुशी पाई प्रार्थना करंतु बोली लिखिछंती। आज अर्थात 8 फेब्रुआरी रे अनुभव वर्षांक विवाहर 10 वर्ष पूर्ति होइला। किंतु यार ठीक गोटे दिन पूर्व विवाह विच्छेद संपर्क में सूचना देइछंती अनुभव। गत किछि वर्ष धरी उभयंक विवाह विच्छेद मामला बेस चर्चा रे रहिछि। बंधुक मुनरे 10 लाख लुट सुंदरगढ़ कोईडा रायकेला निकट में थिबा परिवहन संस्था ऑफिस बंधुक मुनरे लुट अभियोग। 5 जन दुर्वृत्त बंधुक देखाई लुटि नेले 10 लाख लुट्र दृश्य सीसीटीवी कैद। कोईडा पुलिस तदंत आरंभ करिछि। राज्यपाल अभिभाषण उपर धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव रे मुख्यमंत्री रखिछंती विवृत्ति। कहिछंती लाभ योजना आदिवासी बहुत सहायक हेबो। ओडिशा राजस्व बड़का राज्य में परिगणित होइछि। 2000 मसीह से सरकार को आसला
आसिला निर्वाचन वर्ष रे शेष बजेट 1,18,000 कोटी अंतरीण बजेट आनिले राज्य सरकार। कृषि एवं जलसेचन को सर्वाधिक गुरुत्व। बीएसकेवाई मधुबाबू पेंशन योजना रे बड़ व्ययबराद। फोकस रे मेट्रो रेल एवं लक्ष्मी बस योजना। साक्षात्कार रे पांड्यान को बड़ खुलासा। मोदी एवं नवीन को संपर्क को नहीं कहिले गुरुत्वपूर्ण कथा। राजनीति रे जोग देवा नहीं कहिले संपूर्ण कारण। प्यारी को विद्रोह को केमिति दमन करथिले नवीन कले खुलासा। ओडिशा रे भारत जोड़ो न्याय यात्रार शेष दिन में भी नवीन एवं मोदी को राहुल गांधी को टार्गेट। कहले ओबीसी वर्गर नुहंती मोदी। नेता एवं कर्मी को कहले कांग्रेस क्षमता को फेरिबार फर्मुला। राज्यसभा निर्वाचन पर आसिला विज्ञप्ति। 15 जाए नामांकन, 16 रे जांच और 27 रे भोट। संख्या दृष्टि बीजेडी को दरकार आउ 2 विधायकों समर्थन। सौम्य, प्रदीप, प्रशांत और सुधांशु भितर क्यों 2 जनों ऊपर हटिब बहिष्कार ताकू नहीं चर्चा। पाखेला निर्वाचन प्रस्तुतिर समीक्षा 15 रे ओडिशा आसिबे भारतीय निर्वाचन कमिशन और टीम। 3 दिनिया गस्तरे मुख्य शासन सचिव, पुलिस डीजी, गृह सचिवों सहित करिवे आलोचना। राज्य निर्वाचन अधिकारी एवं टीम सहित करिवे बैठक। चिटफंड संस्था उपरे ईडी बड़ धरणर चढ़ाऊ। भुवनेश्वर, दिगपहंडी समेत ओडिशार 10टी स्थान में रेड। संस्थार निर्देशक, मैनेजर और किछि कार्यकर्ता घरे तनाघना। ओडिशा समेत देशर 20टी स्थान में ईडी चढ़ाऊ जारी। विधानसभा आगत होईछि 1,18,000 कोटी अंतरीण बजेट बजेट अभिभाषण में अर्थमंत्री विक्रम आरू कहते सबु वर्गर लोकों विकास करुछंती राज्य सरकार एथिपाई नुआ नवीन ओडिशा योजना उपरे गुरुत्व दिया जाउछि कृषि एवं आनुषंगिक क्षेत्र जलसेचन उपरे सर्वाधिक गुरुत्व दिया जाइछि बजेट रे सेभली सामाजिक सुरक्षा योजना बीएसकेवाई मधुबाबू पेंशन योजना रे मध्य बजेट रे बड़ व्यय बराद करा जाइछि मेट्रो रेल एवं लक्ष्मी बस योजना कार्यक्षम पई बजेट रे होईछि बड़ व्यय बराद
एबे सरकार राज्यर ग्रामांचल समस्त वंचित परिवार को बीएसकेवाई नवीन कार्ड अधीन रे अंतर्भुक्त करने को निष्पत्ति नहीं।
नवीन सरकार को सबुठु बड़ सामाजिक सुरक्षा योजना विजु स्वास्थ्य कल्याण योजना बीएसकेवाई पाई अर्थ बराद करिसेंती राज्य सरकार विधानसभा रे बजेट उपस्थापन करी अर्थमंत्री विक्रम केशरी आरू कहछंती एही योजना पाई 5,450 कोटी टंकार व्यय बराद करा जायछि अर्थात बीएसकेवाई रे लोक माने जे मागणा स्वास्थ्य सेवा पाउछंती ताहा 2025 मार्च पर्यंत निश्चित होइगला।
मागणा स्वास्थ्य सेवा जोगाइबा पाई तालिकाभुक्त डाक्तरखाना गुडी को प्रति मासरे 260 कोटी टंका प्रदान करा जाउछि। एबे सरकार राज्यर ग्रामांचल समस्त वंचित परिवार को बीएसकेवाई नवीन कार्ड अधीन रे अंतर्भुक्त करने को निष्पत्ति नहीं। या फल मोट 1,10 लाख रु अधिक संख्यक परिवार तथा प्राय 90% राज्यवासी को बीएसकेवाई अधीन रे स्वास्थ्य सेवा प्रदान करा जिवो। एथिपाई 2024-25 आर्थिक वर्ष में 5,450 कोटी टंकार व्यय बराद करा जाइछि।
ताछड़ा पंचायत स्तर में कार्यकारी होउछि आम हॉस्पिटल योजना এই যোজনার পঞ্চায়েত স্তরের হসপিটাল গুড়ি অপগ্রেড করা যাচ্ছে যেউথিপাই বজেটরে 1,314 কোটির ব্যয় বরাদ করা যাইছি। এসহিত মুখ্যমন্ত্রী স্বাস্থ্য সেবা মিশন অধীনরে 8টি নূয়া সরকারি মেডিকাল কলেজ স্থাপন হয়েছে। ভুবনেশ্বর এয়ারপোর্টরু কটক নেতাজী সুভাষ टर्मिनाल जाए तैयारी होउथिबा मेट्रो प्रकल्प पई ए बजेटरे अर्थ बराद करा जाइछि। 27 किलोमीटर लंब एही मेट्रो रेल प्रकल्प रे 20टी स्टेशन रहिबो। आगामी 4 वर्ष भितर यह प्रकल्प संपूर्ण करने लक्ष्य रखा जाइछि। तेणु यह प्रकल्प पई बजेट रे 1,000 कोटी टंका व्यय बराद करा जाइछि।
मेट्रो रेल प्रकल्प पई 2024-25 आर्थिक वर्ष में 1,000 कोटी टंकार व्यय बराद करा जाइछि। या व्यतीत 2024-25 आर्थिक वर्ष में राज्य में रेल प्रकल्प गुड़िकर विकास निमंते प्राय 700 कोटी टंका व्ययर प्रस्ताव रही।
सेपटे मधुबाबू पेंशन योजना को नहीं एबे चारिआरे चर्चा कारण एही योजना रे 4 लाख नुआ हिताधिकारी सामिल हेबाकु जाउछथि एवं सबुठारु बड़ कथा हेउछि एही योजना रे मासिक भत्ता रे वृद्धि करबा नै सरकार संकेत दैछथि। प्राय 40 लाख लोक एही योजना रे मासिक भत्ता पाइबे। एथिपाई बजेट रे 3,980 कोटी टंकार व्यवस्था करा दैछि।
समाजर समस्त दुर्बल वर्गर आवश्यकता प्रति आमे सर्वदा संवेदनशील मधुबाबू पेंशन योजना अधीन रे सामाजिक सुरक्षा पेंशन को सर्वजनीन करबा पाई आमे पदक्षेप नैछु। विभिन्न सामाजिक सुरक्षा पेंशन योजना रे प्राय 53 लाख हिताधिकारी को मोट 3,980 कोटी टंका आवंटन करबा को व्यय बराद करा जाइछि।
राज्य सरकार को आउ एक लोकाभिमुखी योजना हेउछि लक्ष्मी बस। एही योजना रे गाँ गाँ रे गडुछि सरकारी बस। एही बस रे सर्वनिम्न 5 टंका भड़ा रे भी व्यवस्था रहिछि। এই যোজনা को चालू रखिबा पई बजेट रे 1,191 कोटी टंकार व्यवस्था करिसंती सरकार। निर्वाचन थिबारु 2024-25 आर्थिक वर्ष पई मोट 1,18,000 कोटी टंकार लेखानुदान आनिसंती राज्य सरकार। एथिरे प्राकृतिक विपर्यय एवं निर्वाचन परिचालना बाबद रे संपूर्ण खर्च व्यवस्था करा जाइछि। तेबे पुंजी व्यय पई 50% एवं राजस्व एवं अन्य समस्त व्यय पई 40% अंतर्भुक्त करा जाइछि। ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट न्यूज 18 ओडिया।
एबे आसंतु सुनिबा बजेट को नहीं बीजेडी एवं बीजेपी रो कोन रहिछि प्रतिक्रिया।
भोट ऑफ अकाउंट 4 मास पाई मध्य कामचला बजेट टी आनिछंती 1,18,000 कोटी टंकार एवं पूर्णांग बजेट हेले सेति पाई मध्य 2,55,000 कोटी टंकार संकेत दैछंती एवं सेथिरे आपनकर चिराचरित जो सिस्टमेटिकली हुए से चिराचरित पारंपरिक सिस्टम रे करिसंती सेथिरे नूतनत्व मध्य किछि नाही।
नवीन बाबू नेतृत्व में ओडिशा विकासर जो गतिशीलता आसी एवं जो उपलब्धि आसी जो सफलता आसी आम दारिद्र्य दूरीकरण ठारू आम भित्तिभूमि विकास ठारू आमर सामाजिक क्षेत्र आम कृषि कृषक पाई एवं आमर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन पाई शिक्षा को ताकू मूल्ययुक्त करने पाई जो 5T प्रयास एवं विभिन्न कथा एवं नारी शक्तिर पाई जो दि जाऊँगी 0% सबवेंशन तापी बराद तेणु सबको देखिले ये बजेट हूँ विकास अभिमुखी विकास रास्तार ओडिशा जो पाई ताकू अधिक आगू को नवापाई ये हूँ एक अभिनंदनीय बजेट।
जातीय गणमाध्यम को स्वतंत्र साक्षात्कार देइछंती 5T अध्यक्ष कार्तिक पांड्यान। এই সাক্ষাৎকারে পান্ডিয়ান করেছেন বড় খুলাসা। মোদি এবং নবীন সম্পর্কକୁ নেই কইছন্তি গুরুত্বপূর্ণ কথা। সেইভଳି কাহিঁকি সে রাজনীতিরে যোগদেলে সে নেই মধ্য সম্পূর্ণ কারণ কইছন্তি। প্যারিঙ্ক বিদ্রোহକୁ কেমিতি দমন করিଥିଲେ মুখ্যমন্ত্রী নবীন সে নেই মধ্য খুলাসা করিছন্তি পান্ডিয়ান।
गत नवेम्बर में जितेबले 5T अध्यक्ष कार्तिक पांड्यान बीजेडी रे जोगदेले चारिआडे चर्चा आरंभ होईगला। अनेक वर्ष धरी मुख्यमंत्री नवीन पट्टनायक व्यक्तिगत सचिव भाव में काम करथिले पांड्यान। तेबे से काहिंकी राजनीति को आसिले जड़े ब्यूरोक्राट केउ परिस्थिति रे नेता बनिले से नहीं एक साक्षात्कार रे विस्तृत भाव में कहछंती पांड्यान।
I decided because I was inspired by the Chief Minister, the way he was into public service. And it was not a grand plan or something for me to enter. I would say that 1 year back, if you had asked me, are you going to join politics? I would have firmly said a no. And if somebody, my batchmates will laugh if they know that I have resigned and I have joined a party because it was not in my plan at all. 1 year, 8-9 months back, I started touring the districts. And I saw the love and affection of people. It was very humbling. I thought that I should not be bound by bureaucratic rules in reaching out to the people. And that is the only reason why I resigned and joined, inspired by the Chief Minister. But I had no plans whatsoever to join politics.